Alright, peace and greetings, YouTubers. So, the 2018 Grammys. Can we just jump right into it? First of all, can I just say, Grammys, I need y'all to step it up. Because for some reason, y'all are continuing to meet the quota of being the most uneventful award show each and every year. And I don't get it because the Grammys are supposed to be like the pinnacle of entertainment. And so, as of late, it's just like the Grammys continue to keep falling short each and every year. Like, I didn't even review the Grammys last year because I knew it was going to be some nonsense. And then y'all cussed me out about it, so I was like, fine, I'll watch and review this year. But man, the Grammys, it's just, I don't know, it's uneventful and it just drags on and it's long. Like, the Grammys be like 3 days long. Like, if you could create a visual for the feeling that you get when you're sitting in the DMV waiting for your number to be called, that's what it's like watching the Grammys at this point. Like, you just like, yo, when is this mess over? Like, when are they going to call number 147B? They only on number 2. Like, that's what it feels like. And the thing that's funny is, like, the Grammys had a decent lineup. When you look at the list of people that they had performing and presented, they had a fairly well put together lineup, but it just wasn't executed well. It was kind of like you were thinking you were about to get like some gumbo or some nice jambalaya, and it was like, oh, well, here's the New Orleans casserole mix. You're like, oh, okay, like that's what happened. But anyway, let me jump into this show. And the other thing is, y'all need some up-tempos. My God, everything was so slow. I know everybody depressed and stressed out and sad and everybody broke and people, there's a lot going on in the world, but damn, can we get an up-tempo? Something, there was no need for bass players tonight. They all stayed home. Hell, if you had a kick drum, you didn't need it either. It was just chimes. Chimes and bells and whistles. Anyway, Kendrick Lamar opened the show. I'll say this about Kendrick. I think he's had better performances, but what I like about Kendrick is that Kendrick is always going to try to do something outside of the box. And I think that works in his favor, and it works in the favor of a lot of hip-hop artists, because sometimes hip-hop artists get written off as always being bad performers, because sometimes, you know, normally they might not always have a band, or they might not have the same budget that Kendrick had with this performance, but Kendrick is able to not only correlate his music, but correlate the artistry into a really great, like, visual presentation. So it always kind of works out. And of course, you know, he had Dave Chappelle. There was a message behind the performance and the statement. I just knew Donald Trump was going to be tweeting any minute now, but I don't know, he might have been asleep. Too much Zoloft and everything else that man taking. So he must have missed Kendrick's performance. But Kendrick's performance was cool. But like I said, the issue I took with the awards for this year was just like, it seemed like everything was just there. I wasn't, like, even with Kendrick's performance, it was cool, but I think he's just had so many other great ones that this one wasn't even, it didn't even do everything for me I wanted it to do. But good kudos to Kendrick. He had a great night. He won a bunch of stuff. I still like that Kendrick is always going to do something left field. Like, every time I watch a Kendrick performance, I know that he's going to try an experiment. So, you know, sometimes it doesn't work out, sometimes it does, but I think that all comes in with your artistry, and so I appreciate his is always dope. Lady Gaga performed. Lady Gaga decided she wanted to sit at the piano, because, you know, this is that era. The Joanne era is a little bit, it's different. You know, if you remember earlier Gaga, she was a bigger visual lasers rain dropping down the stage, and she performs and the blood gushes out of her bra and this, that, and that. You know, she's still that Gaga if you go see her on tour, but, you know, I guess for the marketing with the Joanne album, she wanted to be, you know, do something a little bit different. I think vocally it was a great performance. I think because I wanted just something up-tempo. I really wasn't moved, but it wasn't anything towards Gaga. It was just that I knew once I saw Kendrick and then Gaga, I said, yeah, I already know exactly what the rest of this show is going to look like tonight. All right. But no, Gaga's cool. I didn't get a chance to see her tour. I think she's still on tour. I didn't get a chance to see it, but I heard the show was actually really, really good. Sam Smith performed, and it was another ballad. I was like, God damn, y'all trying to ballad somebody down to sleep. Are you all not happy? Like, so Sam did his performance. And here's the thing, I had company too, so it wasn't just me, boy. We was all like, yo, are we missing something? I mean, we had wine and everything. We were just like, yo, maybe, I don't know, maybe we ain't connecting to something. Everybody was putting me to sleep. I was bored. I knew not to even sit through Little Big Town, and no disrespect to them, but it was just like I need something with some crankage. So I went on pause and I flipped the channel for a little bit because I forgot Shark Tank and stuff was coming on. And so by the time I turned back to the Grammys, they were performing Despacito. I didn't have any expectations for the performance because I didn't really know what to make of the artist as far as what to expect. You know what I mean? Like, Despacito was such a huge hear it on the radio every 5 minutes type of song. I didn't really have an expectation for the performance, so it was just kind of like watching it. I'm like, okay, cool. You know, this is cool, I guess. But I was still bored for some reason. Like, even the band arrangements with some of the songs, the more up-tempo songs, still came off wrong for some reason. Just, I don't know, the Grammys was just real gloomy. Maybe because it was raining outside or something, but man, but yeah, Despacito, I guess. Donald Glover, aka Childish Gambino. I think he might have had one of the first performances where I was like, okay, all right. And he did some slow stuff too. I was like, there's just not gonna be no BPM move faster than like 60 today, but that's okay. But no, I enjoyed his performance, and I think what made his better was towards the very end. Whoever child that was that started hitting all the notes, that little boy, I said, you better go ahead and sing. That little kid got to pulling them notes out of nowhere. It kind of reminded me of like Tevin Campbell when he first came out, when he was working with Quincy Jones, and they had the little "Tomorrow a Better You, a Better Me" song, and in the music video, that little girl that used to be on Family Matters that they kicked off after like the second season, she was in the music video. Like, that's what he reminded me of. But that was a fun performance. I enjoyed the song. And it was crazy because it was simple. It wasn't a whole lot of tricks and treats and gadgets with the staging. He was on the smaller stage. He had his little band, his vocalist, and boom, and he went on his way. It was a great performance. And it's interesting because that album has so much acclaim. I thought he would have won more than he did. I don't think he won anything, or if he did, it wasn't televised. But yeah, so I enjoyed his performance. That was actually probably my favorite of the night, honestly. And then Pink performed, and this is where I have to eat my words, because I used to be one of the main people complaining about Pink always flying and always taking off and going off the runway and jetting off and taking off in Apollo 13 and all that. But, you know, this performance, Pink stayed on the ground. And I think because at this point I've already checked out of the award show, I couldn't even get into Pink. I was like, damn, and Pink can do no wrong as a performer. She's always in good voice. I don't think I've ever heard Pink hit a bad note. Pink just, you know, it was cool, but I was like, damn, can you at least let the interpreter fly? Somebody got to fly in this performance. Something. Just give the interpreter something. Because I was looking at Pink, checking for like the safety harness to see her. It was nothing. She stayed on the ground. I was like, damn, of all the times I needed you to fly, you didn't want to fly today. You want to stay on the ground. So I guess. But Pink's performance was cool. I like her album, by the way. It was a good album. I thought she was going to win for What About Us over, I forgot what song she lost to. I can't think of what it, maybe it come to me later. It might have been Alessia Cara Girl. No, it was somebody. But, yeah. Pink was cool. I just needed something with some kick. Somebody give me a bass riff, something. Grammys was just like, no, we're just, you know, this is going to be very, very just calm and collective this year. We're just going to be, it's going to be very melodic. Very melodic. Who else? Okay. Oh, and then Bruno and Cardi B performed, and so this is the part I was trying to get excited over, because if you follow me, you know New Jack Swing has always been my favorite subgenre of R&B. It just takes me back to my childhood. I love the sound of New Jack Swing. Finesse is, you know, it's a bop one. It's a good little track and everything like that. And so I just was like, okay, they're gonna get it in for me. And even as I watched the performance, and Bruno danced his behind off, and Cardi had some really great energy, I think the band's arrangement of the song was off, kind of. Something that they do at the Grammys sometimes, because the Grammys are so formal, and you got the orchestra section and the air instruments here and this and that. Sometimes when they're playing songs that are just already supposed to be super, super funky, they come off too polished. And so Finesse, I needed it to be a little bit more, just have a bit more grit. The arrangement, not what Bruno and Cardi were doing, but just the arrangement, there was no grits. I needed to, because New Jack Swing was rough. You know what I mean? Like New Jack Swing, when you go back to 88, 89, 90, 91, 92, early 93, like those Teddy Riley tracks and those Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis tracks and some of those later Babyface tracks, I mean, there was some grit to the music, and so I didn't get it with the musical arrangement. I was like, damn, they can't even do New Jack Swing right. But I enjoyed the performance. It was cool. Bruno had a good night. He won like a 80,000 and a half awards. Sting performed. I wasn't about to put myself through that tonight. Like, I'm cool. Y'all know I appreciate all the genres, but tonight I just wasn't in the mood for a lot of the different sounds that were being put out there, because I was bored. Like, God. Y'all talking about, I feel like I had ADD watching it this year. You know, I'm real collective and calm, and like when I'm in the car and everything and chilling, I play the most mellow playlist. But tonight I was like, y'all gonna have to crank it up some. Give me some crankage. Do something. Crankage, that's a real DC term, but anyway. What else did I miss? Oh, okay, then DJ Khaled and Rihanna and Bryson Tiller performed. Now, I will say, I enjoyed the visual staging of the Wildest, Wild Thoughts. I'm about to say Wildest Dreams. That's a Brandy song. Wild Thoughts, the performance. I really, really liked the visual. It looked really, really cool. You know, with all the dancers. Y'all had Rihanna trying to do a little two-step. Vocally, she didn't sound too bad because, you know, she came on. I forgot sometimes she used to be off on occasion, but I enjoyed Rihanna. By the way, I think she looks really good with the extra, like I call it the grown people weight. That weight that hits you after you hit like 28, 29, 30. She looks good with it. People were trying to clown and cook her, but I think she looks I think that's how she would naturally be if she wasn't Rihanna. So, I mean, leave that girl alone. It is what it is. Half of y'all that are like 18, 19, 20, don't worry. As soon as you hit 28, 29, 30, you're going to pop, 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 just like everybody else. But no, she was fine. I think she looked really nice. But that was an okay performance. I enjoyed the song. I enjoyed the performance. I like to see Rihanna do the choreography because she doesn't really do a lot of dancing, but she tries. So I was like, okay, cool. Bryson Tiller sounded decent. It was good. Even the lighting, that was probably, visually, it was one of the better performances to look at. Eric Church, I missed that. I missed it. Kesha. Okay, the other theme for the night was a lot of people were using their music to put out a message or, you know, to make a statement. And Kesha, if you follow her, you know, she's dealt with a lot with the whole lawsuit with, what was it, Dr. Luke, whatever his name was. And, you know, if you really want to jump into, I guess, the conversation around the Me Too movement, somebody like Kesha could be the face of that. Because the sad part is when she initially put out exactly everything that happened to her, she was kind of shunned. And the judge was dismissing stuff and they forced her to stay in a contract with the man and everything like that. And so fast forward some years, now that y'all pissed off that Trump is in office, now y'all all want to hop on the movement. I'm like, okay, cool. But the thing with her performance, I'm not going to even critique what she sounded like because she had a statement that she was trying to make, and I really wanted her to pass the mic to one of them other women at one point during the performance. But I definitely understood the emotion and what was behind the performance. To be honest, I just pushed the mute button and watched it so I could just see what she was trying to give. I definitely think it's very brave of her to be in a room of a bunch of musical peers who probably doubted her. And a lot of them, some of those people in that same room, the same people that probably threw her under the bus and everything else like that, to, you know, perform, you know, a song about, you know, something unfortunate that's happened to you, and you're doing it in a way where you may be open to ridicule and critique. And so, you know, kudos to her for that performance. That was a very, very bold statement. And, you know, it is what it is. U2 at Ellis Island, yeah, I wasn't watching that either. I went right back and flipped to something else. No diss to U2, but I'm good. I'm really, really good. And then, honestly, you know the highlight of the show? The highlight of the whole show was that little Fire and Fury parody where all the different celebrities were reading the Fire and Fury book. I mean, that was more entertaining than a lot of the performances, to be real honest. That had me laughing. I was like, okay, we got some entertainment here. Elton John and Miley, same thing. Elton John be talking too much shit for my liking. He always got a problem with all the other entertainers, so I wasn't even about to sit through him. I don't care if he's a legend or not. All right, I didn't appreciate him coming after my favorite entertainer one time because he didn't like that she had better tour reviews than he did. So I don't appreciate that, Elton. But him and Miley performed. I mean, Elton, he's a legend. I know he's about to go on his 300-date tour, so good luck to his immune system and everything else like that, because that sounds very draining. But, you know, when you're from a different era of entertainment, you just have a stamina that a lot of the new artists don't have. SZA performed. I know that pissed her off. You got to perform after you done lost all your categories. You know how pissed I would have been? Like, I got to still perform and y'all couldn't even give me an award, man? I would have went home. But she performed. Actually, I liked the performance. I think once she put that earpiece back in and realized she was going to need it, she got it in. Like, I think visually it was good. The band, the background singers, the arrangement, everything. That might have been one of the better performances as well. Like, I really enjoyed SZA. Some people didn't like the vocals she gave, but she's always had, like, a questionable reputation when it comes to, like, live performances on the award show sometimes. And again, when it comes to people and vocals on these award shows, I done told y'all, ever since they changed how they pretty much broadcast the award shows, where they have like the microphone feed and one thing and the audience house feed and another thing and then the band and another, like having all those different feeds for the audio and then trying to make them all play through the same one afterwards, it just distorts everybody's sound. Like, I can guarantee you, from all the award shows from like 2011 to the present, a lot of those people who didn't sound that great probably sounded a whole lot better had they not changed the format of how they broadcast these award shows, when everything went from analog to digital. Like I can guarantee you, a lot of these performances that a lot of entertainers used to get cooked for, you know, between like 2011 and the present, a lot of them would have sounded a lot better had the standards still been the same before everything switched with the whole cable and all that crap. Like I can guarantee you that, because it's just like that has to explain a whole lot. Because the problem is with these mic feeds, they're so fine and so polished and overly compressed that you hear everything. Like literally everything, even the popping in the mic, or just, you know, if they didn't swallow too good, you hear that spit smack. You can even hear that sometimes. I'm just like, ugh. But after SZA performed, I turned it off. I'm sorry, I couldn't do it. I know Logic was performing, but I already knew he was gonna perform the 8675309 song. I got the number wrong. That's a different song from the 80s. But listen, I think Logic has a great song. It's a great song with a great message. But at this point, because him and Khalid and I think Leslie Cardi have been performing that song for a year and a half, I'm like, either do a remix or I'm changing the channel. But I like that he's using his music to put out a message, and it's inspired a lot of people. It's helped save lives. It's done exactly what it's supposed to do, which is why I was fine not watching it, because I'm like, cool, he got his message. I can go ahead and turn these Grammys off because it's been 4.5 days. And we've been living off bread and water watching this award show. But overall, Grammys, that crap was so long. God, like, y'all gotta do better. Y'all can't be holding people hostage this long every night, you know, once a year. For, you know, if, I don't know what the Grammys could do, but they gotta crank it up, do something. I just needed a few more up-tempos, and I just needed, the entire mood of the show was just, I don't know. Hot mess. Uneventful. Just, I want to write a letter. Like, if I had the number, I would call the committee right now and give them a phone call, just let them know exactly how I feel. But, anyway, I'm out. Subscribe, share your 2 cents.